What if I told you that the storm about to destroy you isn't out there, but inside your mind? What would you do if you knew that the biggest battle of your life isn't against what's happening around you, but against the chaos you allow into your head? In today's video, you'll discover how to turn chaos into power, how to use calm not as a refuge, but as a powerful weapon. Get ready, because you're about to learn something that will change the way you face challenges forever. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the biggest storm you face isn't the one outside, but the one inside your mind? That whirlwind of thoughts, insecurities, and fears that often feel like they're out to destroy you. But what if I told you that it is possible to find calm in the midst of chaos? That true strength isn't about fighting against adversities, but about how you react to them. This isn't just theory, it's a life strategy that can completely change the way you handle any challenge. In today's video, we're going to explore how you can apply Stoic teachings to cultivate that inner calm, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. And the best part, you'll learn how to grow through the storm rather than just survive it. Get ready for a transformational journey. A lot of times, we try to control the uncontrollable, and that drains us in ways we don't even realize. Imagine a ship in the middle of a storm, with waves that seem endless. The captain, instead of trying to row against the current, adjusts the sails and follows the wind. The same goes for life. When we face the inevitable, fighting against it only wears us out. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. When we accept this, we become better at making smart decisions without getting carried away by frustration. It doesn't mean passivity, but rather acting wisely, focusing our efforts on what's within our reach. For example, in a work situation where everything seems to be falling apart, it's natural to want to control every factor, like the actions of colleagues or problems beyond our reach. But when we realize that we can only control our reactions, we start making clearer and more effective decisions. This shift in perspective makes all the difference. Fighting against what can't be changed only increases tension and suffering. It's like trying to hold onto a strong wind. The best strategy is learning how to navigate with it. Over time, you'll realize that accepting what you can't control isn't a sign of weakness, but of strength. We're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. We become masters of how we react to them. Accepting life's natural flow is liberating. By taking this internal control, we can navigate through storms with more clarity and peace. It's a true revolution in the way we live, and the best part is, it's within everyone's reach. In times of crisis, it's natural for emotions to take over. But acting impulsively, driven solely by those emotions, rarely leads to good outcomes. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of the moment, only to later realize it was a hasty choice? History is full of examples of major mistakes made this way. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom lies in stepping back before we act. The Stoic pause is exactly that. A moment to breathe, reflect, and then take a clear and mindful action. By practicing this pause, we separate what we feel from what we should truly do. In practice, this means allowing your mind to calm down before making any decision. Think of a situation where you're in a heated argument. The urge to respond immediately is strong, but that often only makes things worse. By taking a moment, you can not only avoid saying something you might regret, but also respond with more clarity and assertiveness. This is especially important for long-term decisions, like a work project or even personal relationships. By learning to separate emotion from action, you develop the ability to make wiser and more effective decisions. It doesn't mean ignoring emotions, but rather acknowledging them and then choosing to act based on reflection and purpose. This skill turns chaotic situations into opportunities for growth. In the end, it's like stress and anxiety lose their power to control us, allowing reason to guide our actions more effectively. Life is full of changes and challenges, and it's easy to feel lost when things get out of control. But the truth is, to weather the storms, we need something that keeps us grounded, something that serves as our anchor point. This is exactly what the Stoics teach us, that calm comes from within, through clear principles and values that guide our actions. When we have these principles deeply rooted in us, no matter how strong the external storm is, we remain firm and centered. For example, imagine you're in a tough situation at work. Deadlines are tight, pressure is high, and colleagues are panicking. In this moment, if you have a clear personal value, like honesty or dedication, it can serve as your anchor. Instead of being swept away by the collective anxiety, you can focus on acting based on what's important to you, keeping calm even when everyone around you is losing control. Cultivating this internal anchor isn't something that happens overnight, but it's a daily practice. It can be developed through small daily actions like reflecting on what really matters to you, practicing gratitude, or even meditating. These practices help keep our minds firm and prepared for when the storm comes. In the end, having an anchor point means having the certainty that no matter what happens, you have a solid base to rely on and make clear decisions. Just like athletes constantly train to be ready when the competition comes, our minds also need constant training for when challenges arise. Calm in the midst of chaos doesn't appear out of nowhere. It is built in moments of peace. Stoicism teaches us that the mind, just like the body, needs to be strengthened and prepared for tough times. This means that in order to face the storm with serenity, we need to practice self-control, patience, and clarity in calmer situations before the pressure hits. Let's think of a simple example. Imagine you have to give an important presentation at work. If you don't practice beforehand, you'll probably feel nervous and insecure when the moment arrives. The same logic applies to our emotions. When we practice self-control in everyday situations, like dealing with small frustrations or making more conscious decisions, we are building a solid foundation for when we really need it. Stoicism invites us to always be ready, not just reacting to situations, but preparing for them. Instead of waiting for chaos to strike, take advantage of moments of calm to develop your mind. This can be done through meditation, reading, or even setting small daily goals that challenge your discipline. Over time, you'll realize that when the storm arrives, you are already stronger and more capable of handling it. Training the mind before the storm not only helps maintain calm, but also turns challenging situations into opportunities for growth. In times of crisis, when everything seems to be falling apart, the first reaction is often despair. But Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson. Even in the most difficult situations, there is an opportunity for growth. Adversities can reveal strengths and lessons that we would otherwise never know. It's like a diamond which forms under immense pressure. Suffering in itself isn't what defines us, but how we handle it is what can transform us. When we are able to find meaning in the midst of chaos, we can turn pain into something positive. For example, imagine you're facing a significant loss, whether at work or in a relationship. In the moment, the pain is real, and the feeling of being lost can be overwhelming. However, by reflecting on the situation and seeking what it can teach you, you might realize that you're being challenged to become more resilient, more self-confident, or even more compassionate with yourself. This process of finding meaning in difficulties is what allows us to move forward, stronger and more aware of our own ability to overcome. It's important to remember that meaning doesn't appear immediately. It may take time to understand what adversity teaches us, but by adopting this Stoic perspective, we begin to see that the greatest moments of growth come when we face our toughest challenges. And in the end, these experiences can become our greatest sources of learning and strength on our journey. Now that you've learned the Stoic principles and how to use them to stay calm, even in the toughest situations, the real question is, are you ready to apply this in your life? Don't wait for the storm to pass. Because the truth is, it never fully goes away. What we can control is how we choose to navigate through it. So what will your choice be today? Will you let chaos consume you, or will you start using calm as your greatest strength? Remember, the power to transform your life is in your hands, and all you need to do is take the first step. If you want to learn more about mastering your mind and turning pain into power, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go on this transformational journey together.